Hi everyone. Okay, the DVD collection continues, video number 20. There's a playlist on my channel, you can follow along that way. Here we go. First up we have Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans, a 1927 classic from F.W. Murnau. The technical brilliance in this film is just fantastic. Superb movie. I'm ready for my close-up now. This is the excellent Sunset Boulevard with Gloria Swanson and William Holden, directed by Billy Wilder. Danny Boyle's intriguing sci-fi movie, Sunshine. And written and directed by John Sayles, Sunshine State. Michelle Yeoh in Super Cop 2. She's really excellent in this. There's an unnecessary cameo from Jackie Chan in this, but no, Michelle Yeoh is fantastic. Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo in Super Mario Brothers. And Helen Slater in Supergirl. Superman Batman Apocalypse, and Superman Doomsday. Sidney J. Fury's Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, and Bryan Singer's Superman Returns with Brandon Routh. Christopher Reeve and Richard Pryor, Superman 3, and James Spader, Angela Bassett and Robert Forster in Supernova. Loved these when I was a kid. James Garner in Support Your Local Gunfighter, and also Support Your Local Sheriff. John Cusack and Daphne Zuniga in Rob Reiner's The Sure Thing, and Matthew McConaughey in Surfer Dude. Bruce Willis in Surrogates. And from Jennifer Lynch, this is Bill Pullman and Jennifer Ormond in Surveillance. Post-apocalyptic survival movie, The Survivalist. And from director Peter Yates, Cher and Dennis Quaid in Suspect. Classic from Dario Argento, Suspiria. And Louis Jourdan and Adrienne Barbeau in Swamp Thing. Great British crime series this with John Thor and Dennis Waterman, and they had 2 movies out of it, Sweeney and Sweeney 2, and then a remake with Ray Winstone. One of my favourite performances from Sean Penn in Woody Allen's jazzy Sweet and Lowdown with Samantha Morton. Keanu Reeves, Charlize Theron in Sweet November. And Martin Compston in Ken Loach's Sweet 16. Musician romance, The Swell Season. And then a trashy thriller this, Jesse Bradford, Erica Christensen in Swim Fan. From Francois Ozon, Swimming Pool. And then from Russell Mulcahy, director of Highlander, this is Swimming Upstream, a swimming drama with Geoffrey Rush and Judy Davis. Doug Liman's Swingers with Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn. A classic Disney film, Swiss Family Robinson with John Mills, directed by Ken Anakin. And classic Disney animation, The Sword in the Stone. Sean Connery guest stars as the Green Knight in Sword of the Valiant. And a drama about the poet Sylvia Plath. This is Gwyneth Paltrow and Daniel Craig, Sylvia. Charlie Kaufman's Synecdoche, New York with Philip Seymour Hoffman. And George Clooney and Matt Damon in this movie Syriana about the oil industry. I've done a separate video on this one on my channel before. Absolutely love this. This is The System, directed by Michael Winner and starring Oliver Reed. Great, great movie. Spanish noir thriller, Take My Eyes. Really like this one from Sarah Polley. This is Take This Waltz. Stars Seth Rogen and Michelle Williams. And they reunited as a couple in Steven Spielberg's The Fabelmans. And then we also have Luke Kirby co-starring in this. He was great as Lenny Bruce in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Is this the best poster art ever? I don't know, it's really good. Terrific movie this, The Taking of Pelham 123 with Robert Shaw and Walter Matthau, directed by Joseph Sargent, and with that really meaty music score from David Shire. Terrific film. And there is a remake. A Bengali drama about prostitution, this is The Tale of a Naughty Girl. And from Studio Ghibli, The Tale of the Princess Kaguya. Absolutely love this movie from Anthony Minghella, The Talented Mr. Ripley. Haven't watched Ripley yet on Netflix. Let me know what you think of that. I really, really love this movie. Tales of Frankenstein. This is a 1958 unsold TV pilot from Hammer. And you can now get this in the Criterion collection, but this is Eric Romer's Tales of the Four Seasons. An autumn tale, a summer's tale, a winter's tale, and a tale of springtime. George Stevens, The Talk of the Town, with Cary Grant, Jean Arthur and Ronald Colman. From Franco Zeffirelli, this is The Taming of the Shrew, with Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. James Garner and C. Thomas Howell in Tank. And a drama here about traditional tribes in the South Pacific. This is Tana, filmed in Vanuatu. Pretty much all filmed in a motel room. This is Richard Linklater's Tape, with Ethan Hawke, Robert Sean Leonard and Uma Thurman. Military drama directed by Harold Becker, and this one stars Timothy Hutton, George C. Scott, Tom Cruise and Sean Penn. This is Taps. Horror movie this, starring Giancarlo Giannini. This is La Tarantola del Ventre Nero, also with a music score by Ennio Morricone. And a made-for-TV movie, I really enjoy this one, Tarantulas, The Deadly Cargo. Gene Hackman and Matt Dillon in Target. And Disney animation Tarzan, with a music score by Phil Collins. Casper Van Dien as Tarzan in Tarzan and the Lost City. And a good movie this is Gordon Scott as Tarzan the Magnificent, and it also co-stars Jock Mahoney, who was then to replace Gordon Scott as Tarzan. And this is Tarzan's 3 challenges with Jock Mahoney, and he made himself very ill in this movie by swimming across a river and contracting a disease there, lost a lot of weight. Features a great fight with Woody Strode towards the end, involving flaming oil drums. Really quite tense stuff. Great movie. For Hammer Films, this is Susan Strasberg and Ronald Lewis in Taste of Fear. And another Hammer classic, we've got Christopher Lee, Taste the Blood of Dracula. My sister kindly sent me this one, as I've always had the poster, which I got from a video store when I was young, but I've never actually seen the movie. This is Tati Danielle. Scorsese's classic with Robert De Niro and Jodie Foster, Taxi Driver. And from Franco Zeffirelli, this is Cher, Judi Dench, Joan Plowright, and Maggie Smith in Tea with Mussolini. Matt Damon. This is from Trey Parker and Matt Stone, Team America, World Police. And here we have a documentary on the great cinematographer Haskell Wexler, Let Them Know Who You Are, directed by his son. Haskell Wexler was a cinematographer on movies such as Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and Medium Cool. Derek Jarman's filming of William Shakespeare's The Tempest. An Australian movie celebrating Aboriginal culture. This is 10 Canoes, directed by Rolf de Heer, and with a guest performance from David Gulpilil. Charlton Heston in Cecil B. DeMille's epic The Ten Commandments. And CGI galore in Roland Emmerich's 10,000 BC. Next is 10 Rillington Place, with a chilling performance from Richard Attenborough as the serial killer John Reginald Christie. Now, I did do a video on my channel fairly recently about all the various murderers who had been hanged by Albert Pierpoint. Please check out that video. This is a great one. You can get this through Indicator as well on a great Blu-ray. Terrific movie. Marcello Mastroianni and Ursula Andress in The 10th Victim, directed by Elio Petri. Next up is Steven Spielberg's The Terminal. This is a special 3-disc edition that includes lots of bonus features, as well as a CD soundtrack. The classic The Terminator. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. And Terminator 2, The Ultimate Edition. Great movie this from James L. Brooks, Terms of Endearment, with Deborah Winger, Shirley MacLaine and Jack Nicholson. And produced by Roger Corman, this is The Terror Within, with George Kennedy. I wish I liked this one more, but this is Sean Connery and the Terrorists. Not a great movie, but it's okay. Gemma Arterton in a TV adaptation of Tess of the D'Urbervilles. And Dennis Hopper in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Wildly different to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but good fun. TV movie this with Heather Locklear and Peter Strauss, Texas Justice. And quite a fun one this, directed by Tom Hanks, That Thing You Do. Ridley Scott's Thelma and Louise with Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis. And Eddie Redmayne as Professor Stephen Hawking in The Theory of Everything with Felicity Jones. A Region 1 and a Region 2 version of There Will Be Blood. And from the Farrelly brothers, Cameron Diaz and Ben Stiller, There's Something About Mary. Sidney Poitier in the follow-up to In the Heat of the Night, They Call Me Mr. Tibbs. And a sort of Living Dead movie directed by French director Robin Campillo. This is They Came Back. John Carpenter's classic They Live. Oh my God. And directed by John Ford. This is John Wayne and Robert Montgomery in They Were Expendable. The great Powell and Pressburger head to Australia for this one. They're a Weird Mob. An absolute classic from Michael Mann with James Caan, Thief. And from the animator Richard Williams, this is the long in the making, The Thief and the Cobbler. Okay, I will pause there. Thanks very much for watching. Let me know your comments about any of these movies, and I hope to see you for the next round. Okay, all the best. Bye-bye.